Okay, the Knight of Cups generally has a man who is on a white horse, and a lot of times he also has wings on his hat. So let's talk about the Knight as it refers to a life stage. So a lot of times the Knight is someone who has previously been a page. They're older now, perhaps they're in college or they're about to graduate college. And the Knight oftentimes is someone who is going on a quest, or they're going on some sort of journey for the king, right? So in modern day words, that can mean something like starting out a career or starting out with some sort of creative endeavor, or maybe the project is creating a business instead, right? But it's some sort of journey where you have to take physical actions and steps. So if we relate that back to the page was someone who is younger, someone who is learning, someone who was taking their vision. They were dreaming about their vision. Maybe they were getting intuitive impulses about what they were going to do when they were older, something to the nature of that, right? The Knight now is putting those creative impulses, those ideas, those visions in his head into the world of form. So he's taking concrete steps and he's moving forward daily. This feels to me a lot like someone who has graduated college and they're now moving out into the adult world. They're trying to decide on their career or, you know, exactly in what direction they want to go and so forth. So that is the life stage that the Knight represents to me, and it is also the kind of age range that the Knight represents to me as well. Now, the other thing that I want to bring up about the Knight is the type of person that this can represent. Because not only can the Knight represent, you know, when in your life you are, it can also represent who is in your life. So the first thing that I feel with the Knight is he kind of feels like a ladies' man. You know what I mean? He feels like a social butterfly. It feels to me like he has lots of emotional bonds and contacts. Like everybody loves him. He's very congenial. I feel like he has a lot of friends. Like he walks into the coffee shop and everybody knows who he is because he's gregarious. He has a good personality. He's very likable. He has that sort of aura about him. And this can also represent someone who's very romantic as well. Maybe they love to bring flowers to their mate, or they like long walks in the park, or I mean, whatever the stereotypical romantic things are. And he's just that type of person, right? He's going to bring you roses. He's going to bring you chocolates, right? The other thing I feel is this is also someone who loves to go to parties, loves to socialize, loves to know what's going on in the community. This person might volunteer. Maybe they volunteer with their church or some other organization, but they do a lot of heart-based things. The other thing that comes to my mind is animals. So they could be advocating for the rights of animals. They could be volunteering at the animal shelter, something to the nature of that. But they're very loving. They're very heart-based. They're ruled by their emotions. They're very open, right? These are the people that what I would call is love bunny, right? I'm like, oh, you love my friend. He's such a love bunny. And what I'm talking about is someone that's the Knight of Cups sort of personality, right? Someone who's a younger person, although it can represent someone who is older. You really just have to go with your intuition and a reading to decide what it specifically means. But traditionally, the archetype is a younger type of person. Okay, so if we go into the Knight of Cups reversed, the first thing that comes to me is someone who is emotionally unstable, someone who gets angry easily, someone who gets jealous. The other thing that comes to my mind immediately is someone who is an alcoholic, or at the very least, maybe it's representing, you know, just getting drunk and losing all sense of emotional control. But it's definitely someone who is not in control of their emotions. Maybe they're having outbursts, but they're not handling it well. And it's the type of thing where it's almost like when this person gets upset and maybe they have too much alcohol, this is not the type of person you want to hang out with. Whereas upright, they're a love bunny and you want to spend a lot of time with them. When it's reversed, it's like, oh yeah, when he has too many drinks, like I exit, like stage left, like I'm gone, right? So he may lose all of his friends. He may lose all of like the camaraderie, and things may go downhill really fast if the archetype of this person starts to drink because they get out of control. Maybe they get sullen. Maybe they start like pointing fingers at other people, accusing other people of things, and have no basis to do so whatsoever. It just feels like no basis in reality. Like it's some sort of like emotional reaction, or they're just trying to slough their emotions off on other people, and they're not taking responsibility. When the card is upright, I feel like the person is very heart-based and heart-centered. The reverse of this card feels like totally not in your body, totally maybe yelling at other people, just like not in control of themselves or their body, and totally pretty much alienating everybody and wanting to make them leave the room. Okay. The other thing the reverse Page of Cups can mean is someone who is not taking steps on their journey. Right? This could be the person who's graduated college. They're still living at home, but they haven't moved out, right? Whereas the Knight upright has moved out and moved on. This one is too emotionally dependent and is still living at home and hasn't gone anywhere, right? So this person isn't taking steps on their journey that they know they should be taking. They're not out there looking for the job and doing the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. They're not out there having a quest. They're not out there like having a journey and slaying dragons. They are sitting at home on the couch and zoning out and numbing themselves when it is upside down.